Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing a little bit of a weekly tarot. This is really good from now until mid-March. Checking in with you because we are in the height of Pisces season, and we even have a new moon in Pisces coming up this weekend. So if you've been feeling a little bit emotional, perhaps a little bit lost, and not really sure, your emotions are all over the place, maybe a lot of things from the past are kind of coming up, emotions that you thought you had kind of moved away on from, all right? That is just the Pisces season right now, helping us to clear some of those emotions out so that we can get better in tune to what our heart really and truly desires, so that when Aries season starts in a couple of weeks, we'll have the inspiration, the motivation to take action on what our heart truly desires. So hold the faith, keep the faith, be kind and gentle to yourself as we're traversing this energy. So let's take a look. Let's see what's on the horizon for you. So you have Journey by Moonlight. Believe in magic, and there's the Pisces energy right there, okay? So the moon is a representation of the Pisces energy, then also a course of water. So water is our emotions, and Pisces is a water sign. It is the deepest, most spiritual of the zodiac signs, and it's just the energy of understanding, allowing right now things to kind of like take place. Don't try to push against this energy. Allow the emotions to come up. Allow those emotions to kind of be released. Don't try to squash them down. And at the same time, it's also an energy of getting in that dreamy Pisces state and reconnecting to what your heart truly desires. Getting ready to kind of journey a little bit into the unknown of what it is your heart truly desires. And then you have Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter. Yeah, that's very much this energy. So this is just kind of confirmation for you, Capricorn, if you are feeling a little bit emotional. Now, really kind of sure what's going on, right? Things that are coming up, coming to light, because they need to be cleared out. And clear out the clutter can be literally physical clutter, but it can be our emotional clutter. It can be all that mindset, beliefs that we have trapped in our mind that are preventing us from taking action on what our heart desires. So hang in there. I also want to say this is the number 28, and 2 plus 8 equals 10. Knowing that you are at the end of a cycle, okay? It's time to purge anything that, you don't want to take forward with you. It's time to say goodbye to some of that stuff. Okay, so let's go to... we have the fear coming up. We have fragmented energy. So Capricorn, I'm sending you extra love and hugs because I feel like this energy right now, it's, Capricorn, you're such a hard worker, right? And it's kind of like you always feel like you can work through anything. You're not going to allow those emotions to get you down. But this is kind of one of those times where you want to take really good care of yourself and not try to just push through the emotions. And allow yourself a little bit of extra comfort, sleeping in a little bit, or making sure you're getting, good sleep, good exercise, even if it's just 5 minutes. When we move our body, it helps us to get out of our heads and not feel so perhaps victimized. I mean, that's the energy I've been feeling lately, almost kind of like victimized by my own emotions. Yes, because it is time to understand that you have some patterns that you are getting ready to break, knowing that they're not for you anymore. And I feel like these are things that you've already been working on, but this is the energy. This is clear out the clutter. It's kind of like you have offloaded so much, but the image I'm getting is kind of like, like if you've ever had like thrown a really big party or something like that, and you get rid of all of the big trash and all of the food and everything like that, but at the end the floor can have like a lot of little particles still left over, confetti or pieces of food or whatever. It's kind of like this is the energy of sweeping up whatever is left and knowing it's time to put it in the trash can, time to move on, time to get back in touch with what it is that your heart truly desires. I think you are doing such a fabulous job here. So let's take a look. Yeah, I feel like finances, you have the Five of Pentacles too. So finances, or maybe your health, if you feel like this is just temporary, great. But if not, please check in with your doctor, But this is the energy where I feel like you just feel like you don't have enough. Okay. And this is a pattern that maybe has been coming up for you quite a bit, that you're not worthy of having what it is that you truly want. Tangible. This is tangible. Okay. The energy of financial stability, or being able to secure your finances so that it will last into retirement, and beyond. It's kind of like the energy where you feel like it's going to be a struggle for the rest of your life, that you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like you've been working on this, Capricorn, but once again, it's the energy. It's time to kind of like pick up the little bits of trash that are left on the floor. It's time to sweep them up and say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm ready to take action. So the thing that they're saying to me right now is, Capricorn, you might have an energy of things are not going to work out for me, or you're putting a lot of time and energy into plan B because you're fearful things won't work, or you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, a little bit of a hopeless type of feeling. And this is the energy of what they're saying to me is, what happens if it does work out? So Capricorn, what happens if it does work out for you? Looking back on it, right? How will that be? I know I went through this period in my life where I was really struggling, and I really had that sense of hopelessness. So I can understand this. And lately I'm a Gemini sun, but it is interesting. Even for me, these energies have been that kind of like having a hard time seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Having that confidence that things really are going to work out. And even when you go back to all those positive affirmations and everything, sometimes it is that energy of, will it truly work out? But what happens if it does? So it's kind of like, I think your guides are wanting you to just kind of like shift a little bit, right? To allow yourself to let go of this fear a little bit, just kind of shift. Even give yourself just 5 minutes of kind of visualizing what happens if it does work out for me, right? Allowing yourself to imagine what happens if it does. Because I feel like you may be in this energy right now of saying, what happens if it doesn't work out for me, right? And planning, but manifesting from that energy of what if it doesn't work out for me. And what they're saying is, can you just kind of like shift your energy just a tad, Capricorn? Because I know this is difficult timing. So it's kind of like, but shifting just so very gently to the energy of, what happens if it does work out for me? What does that look like, right? And allowing yourself to sit with that. And as often as it may kind of come up in your fears right now and over maybe the next 2 weeks, this is kind of a pivotal time as we're ending the zodiac year and getting ready for the new year. When Aries season starts in a couple of weeks, we also have the equinox coming in. We have eclipse season, right? March is a difficult energy of clearing some of this stuff out so we can prepare for this new beginning. And so at this time, as often as you can, just try to get into that energy of, what happens if it does work out for me? What does that look like, right? that's kind of so much more of a hopeful type of energy. And what we think about is what we create. So if you can get into the energy of thinking about things working out for you, you're going to automatically shift to the universal energy for things to work out for you. And this is the energy of journeying by moonlight, right? Journeying in the energy of, I'm not sure where this all might lead, but ooh, isn't that kind of exciting? And piquing your curiosity, if nothing else. Okay, so let's take a look at what your obstacle is right now. Yeah, you have so many blessings, but Pisces, I can so relate to this. I'm sorry, Capricorn. During this Pisces season, I can truly relate to this, right? It's kind of like, this is the energy where we're kind of like being forced to take a look at what isn't working in our life, so we can start dreaming about what changes we would like to make. And this is the energy of, first and foremost, being blessed for what we already have and what we know will come our way when we allow ourselves to accept and receive that. Really beautiful energy. Okay, so let's take a look at your advice. Yeah, your advice is that it's the conflict in your own emotions, okay? And it's kind of interesting. This has been coming out a little bit, because it's kind of like, usually we look at this card and we think of conflict with other people. Right now in Pisces season, it's more like that conflict that we have with ourselves. And if you'll look, it's a boat on an ocean. And remember, a water, an ocean, is a symbol for our emotions. It's kind of like your energy right now might be topsy-turvy, right? Ping-ponging from one emotion to another, and you're not even sure where all of this is coming from. You could have a moment where you love your life, and the next moment where you fear your life. You know, it's that energy of not being sure where am I going to land. It's kind of like, am I going to be okay? Because these emotions could be even kind of like making you feel as if you're totally out of control. But here's the thing. I think what Spirit is trying to help you to see is that we can't make choices, we can't make decisions when we're in this emotional upheaval. It's just a time to allow ourselves to kind of like dream and kind of move ourselves into the energy of, what if it does work out for me, right? Imagining that what life would look like if we allowed ourselves to go there. Because I feel like, you have the Knight of Swords here. This is a little bit of that energy of being determined, right, to go on, to persevere, even though you have all of this. But I want you to recognize you have the round and round. That's exactly why you're in the position you're in, is because no matter what the emotions are, you're pulling yourself up by the bootstrap and moving forward, instead of allowing these emotions to come up, to be released, to allow yourself to empty those out, clear those emotions out, so that you can allow yourself to start really living in that energy of, what if it does work out for me? And I know this can be difficult. I really encourage you to reach out to a friend or a family member if you need a little bit of extra emotional support. I think all of us on this channel, we can send love and support to each other. This Pisces season seems to be a little bit rockier than most, right? And 2023 was a little bit of a chaotic energy. And perhaps we all of us, not just you, Capricorn, probably suppressed a little bit of those emotions. It just was like, I'm going to keep going forward. But for this beautiful new Pluto in Aquarius energy that began about a month ago and will be with us for the next 20 years, right? This is the energy of understanding it's time to expand. It's time to expand our dreams. It's time to expand what our heart desires. It's time to kind of like find the inspiration in order to go after what it is that we want, instead of just moving forward no matter what the emotions are, right? Like kind of like shoving those emotions down or overreacting to our emotions. So let's see what this is. Let's get some clarity here. Yeah, I feel like there's this energy, lots of queen energy coming in here. You know, we have the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant. Yeah, there's this energy, Page of Cups. So it's a little bit about believing in yourself, okay? Even if you're feeling like you're not getting the emotional support that you may need from people in your life, it's kind of like allowing yourself to be kind and gentle and loving to yourself and getting into that energy, trying to turn or shift your energy to what if it does work out for me, right? Because I think that there's something you're understanding that you've been holding back on yourself, holding back on allowing yourself to dream, right? Dream of what it is that you want, because it's kind of like you've had this plan. There's a little bit of this energy where, you know, with the King of Swords, you've had a plan. This is my strategy and I have to stick to it. That's very much of a King of Swords energy. But that may have worked for you in the past. We're in new times. We have Pluto in Aquarius. So we're getting ready for the equinox, right? It's kind of like that plan may have worked while Pluto was in your sign of Capricorn for the last 15 years. It may have worked for you then. But this is new times. It's kind of like allowing yourself to shift and navigate and get used to the new energies that have come in, and knowing that this Pluto in Aquarius on top of this Pisces season that has so many planets. There's so many planets in Pisces right now, right? It's kind of like, okay, it's time to reset so much of our life. It's time to kind of like get back into what is it that I truly want for myself, not necessarily having to follow the rules of, you know, your family, your society, your work, you know, environment, your peers. It's kind of like, what is it that I truly want for myself? When I allow myself to think about what if it all works out for me, right? What relationships can I let go of? If it all worked out for me, what relationships would I let go of? If I knew it was going to work out, what relationships would I drop? What habits or behaviors would I drop? What would I add to my life, right? What wonderful experiences would I add to my life if I knew I didn't have to always be concerned about things not working out for me? Wow, really beautiful energy here of really seeing clearly that it's time to heal some of these perspectives that you've had that have held you back. Yeah, look at this. You have the Chariot. That these mindsets are, it's time to go. And they're time to go. Sweep them up, put them in the trash can, ready to move on. It's kind of like, you know what this is? It's kind of like you need a new game plan. And it's not necessarily that you're changing completely the direction of your life. It's that you're changing your inner compass as far as why you're going in the direction that you're wanting to. Before, I think you were going in the direction that you're headed, or you thought you wanted to head in, right? Because you were concerned things wouldn't work out for you if you didn't go in that direction. Now it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, is that the direction I want to go in? And if it is, right, it's kind of like, well, how can I have more fun while I'm moving in that direction, instead of kind of feeling like you're obligated to it or stuck to it, attached to it. And that is the priority in your life. Yeah, ask yourself what your priorities are right now. And you can tell what your priorities are. You may think that they're one thing, but where do you put your time and energy? Where you put your time and energy is your top priority. Is your top priority, okay? And are you putting so much time and energy because you have a catastrophic type of energy of thinking that the things aren't going to work out for you? Or are you putting your time and energy into things that are pleasurable, that are bringing you those experiences that you're wanting in your life, right? Yeah, it's just kind of like a shift of your energy. It's a beautiful energy, Capricorn. Allow these energies to kind of like move around you. It's only for like another, maybe a week that we're really going to be going through this. I am going to put up a special new moon in Pisces reading this weekend to help you to navigate. But this is part of that energy of helping us to clear out some of these mindsets or beliefs that we have that no longer fit these new times. Okay, Capricorn, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? My goodness. Yeah, the thing is that we're in this energy when we kind of have some kind of feeling of shame or guilt. And that usually comes either from some conditioned belief that we received as a child, right? Or sometimes it can be because we've made a decision in our life that we're kind of wondering, was that the right decision, right? All decisions are the right decision. There is no wrong decision. What we are here to experience, we will experience no matter what decision we make. It may come in a different way, okay? But we will experience what we are meant to experience. So it is a little bit about allowing yourself to let go of the guilt or the shame that you may be carrying, okay, because you may have made some decision, that could have been a decision about the career that you chose or a relationship that you either had or left or are in, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to see clearly that you did that with a love in your heart. And it's time to allow yourself to let go of the emotion of guilt or shame that you may have. It's kind of like, if you took a job that really is kind of like one of those jobs of what have I got myself into? And I've had those, right? And it's kind of like, you could have had people in your life even that kind of said, why are you taking that job, Capricorn? Like, why are you, going in that direction? Why are you making that decision? You were kind of like, because this is the direction I want to go in, right? And now you're kind of like in it, and it's like you want out of it. And sometimes we can continue carrying on a plan or carrying on with that career, that job, that relationship. Even when we no longer want it, because we're kind of being stubborn. We want to, our ego, okay, our ego wants to prove us right, that this was the best decision for us. But this is kind of like, okay, well, wait a minute. Why am I staying here? You're probably staying here because you're fearful of leaving, okay, because you don't, guilt or shame maybe about making the decision in the first place, or there's something there that is keeping you attached to it, a fear of financial stability or something like that. This is the energy. Well, if I left this situation, what if things work out for me and I leave this situation, right? Or if I left this situation and things worked out for me, right? It's allowing yourself to see a different perspective. You have the Hanged Man here, right? Seeing a different perspective of the situation, and allowing yourself kind of like a get out of jail card, playing that Monopoly game, getting that get out of jail card and using it and saying, okay, I'm no longer holding on to some emotion around a decision that I made or something that may have happened to you, right? I'm no longer holding on to that emotion. I'm allowing that emotion to be released so that I can see clearly other options that are available to me. All right, Capricorn, I'm leaving it there. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And please be so kind and gentle to yourself these next few days. This too shall pass. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.